All right. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. My name is Michael. I'm your host today. Let me start to share screen. Okay. All right. Start the slideshow. Okay. So I'm your host today, and I'm also the presenter. I've been in Jeunesse since mid last year, and I actually started taking the Jeunesse product, after my car accident last year, April. I have a lot of experience with the product, but today it's more about business building. I'm going to get right into it because I have a lot of content to cover. Today it's mostly for people who are ready in the business. Okay. And I know everyone's excited. I don't know how long, some of you guys have probably been in the business for a while, and some of you guys probably just started. I don't know. But regardless, I want to add as much value as I can to you guys today. All right. So Jeunesse has this presentation called 8 Steps to Success. Jeunesse is really quickly, Jeunesse is a network marketing company. And marketing company is actually a profession with lots of skills that, that we need to learn in order to run the business properly. And Jeunesse basically breaks all that skill down into 8 steps. Okay. This is a presentation you can find in your back office, by the way. I made some modification, of course, and if anyone wants the PowerPoint afterwards, I could share it with them. Okay. All right, let's get started. So 8 steps to success. We're going to start with know your whys. Okay. So when you first join, I'm pretty sure your sponsor, had a discussion with you while talking to you about the opportunity. And, you look at the opportunity, and then, you also look at your own situation, and you realize that, Jeunesse is something that could probably improve your health or improve your financial situation and improve your overall life, right? So the reason is the why. Okay. So we're gonna dive in, like, what is your why, right? So success in this industry, which is network marketing, it's really not in the how or the what's, right? So if you already started building the business, right, and you could probably relate to this, how many times do the people you sponsor come up to you and say, what do you say exactly? Like, what do you need to say exactly for people to, want to join the business or want to try the product, right? What am I not saying? What are you saying that I'm not saying? And, it's really not about the hows, okay? Like, you could have the best script in the world, but if you don't know the reason, if you don't have a strong enough why, like, you have no idea why you're doing this business in the first place, it's really, really hard for you to basically influence anyone to want to take a look at this business or even want to give it a try. Okay. So there's a saying, right? Facts tells, but story sells, right? So you want to go back and dig into your why, and then you want to tell your stories, right? People love stories. So the reason that I joined Jeunesse is actually I started taking the product, after my car accident. I couldn't get back in shape, and I started taking reserve. And in 2 weeks, I saw amazing results. But the main part of the story wasn't about me; it was about my mother, who was suffering from, just muscle pain and joint pains. And I tried everything with her. I mean, we took her to doctors and, chiropractors. We tried different type of medicine, and none of it really, shown any significant results until reserve. And, that's when I decided that, this is a legitimate product. Not only is it a legitimate product, is a one of a kind product out there. And, but know your own story. I mean, that's my story, but, know your own story, because that's what makes your business unique. Okay. Is your why. All right. And when you have a strong enough why, then, this business will be a piece of cake. After you figure out your whys, you want to set goals. This is a business. Okay. Well, this is a business, but a lot of people don't look at it as a business. During the business opportunity presentation, we generally describe why this business is different from traditional business. So, but one of the key difference, okay, one of the key difference in this business compared to traditional business is also one of the reason why a lot of people don't make it in network marketing. And it's not that they don't make it, they quit really easily. And here's why. They don't treat it like a business, okay? They treat it like a hobby, right? Like, how many times have you talked to someone about the business and they tell you, oh, yeah, I'll come in, I'll try it, and you're like, what are you gonna do? And they say, I'll figure it out, I'll talk to somebody about it, I'll see. They don't set goals, they don't make plans, and they don't treat it like a business. And guess what? When you treat it like a hobby, it's gonna pay you like a hobby. Okay, so we're gonna talk about goal setting. So your why sort of sets the vision for you. Okay, your why sets the vision for you, and the goals are actually the little milestones. Okay, the little milestones that will get you closer to your ultimate vision. Okay, to the place that you want to be. Okay, so when we set goals, we basically start off by asking some questions. Okay, so the first question you ask is, what do you expect when you talk to your prospect? Or you could ask yourself this, right? What do you expect to accomplish for 6 months? Right? What do you expect to accomplish for 6 months? Okay, so I don't know if you guys know Tony Robbins. Yeah, he's one of my favorite life coach out there, and he always talks about, right, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, right? But we underestimate what we could do in 3 years, right? But then, in order to get to where we want to get to, we got to figure out the little goals in between. All right. So you got to figure out what you're going to do by next week. All right. You got to figure out what you got to do by next month, right? In 3 months, where do you want to be? And in 6 months, where do you want to be? And we got to keep it all super realistic, right? We got to keep it all super realistic. And remember, whatever I'm telling you right now is what you got to tell people that you bring into your business. This is how you got to communicate with your team. Okay. And then once you set the goal, once you set out, hey, where do I want to be in 6 months? Now you got to ask, how much time are you willing to commit to build your Jeunesse business, right? So one objection that we often face is, I don't have the time, right? And when I hear that, I ask them, how much time do you think you need to build this business, right? How much time do you think you need to build your business? And I also ask them, how much time do you spend on Facebook? How much time do you spend on YouTube, right? How much time do you spend playing game? How much time do you spend watching movie, right? How much time do you spend just not doing much at all, right? Why don't we take some of that time, right, and we use it to build your Jeunesse business? And then you basically go back to your vision, right? You go back to your why, and you reiterate that to them, right? Or you reiterate that to yourself, okay? And so it's all tied together. All right. Once you set your goals, it's time to create a business plan. All right. So what is the business plan? So we're going to move on to the next part. Our business plan in network marketing, okay, or in Jeunesse, is actually your contact list, your prospect list. That is your business plan. Remember, this is called network marketing. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys what we call this. A lot of time we call this prospecting. All right. So I'm going to break it down. All right. When we prospect, we want to create an active list. All right. So those of you guys who are on my team, you guys heard this term before. So this term I borrow from GoPro by Eric Worre. He's one of the biggest generic network marketing trainer, okay, in the world. And he's created massive success in network marketing. And now he dedicates his life, okay, to helping all network marketer have success in their own business. And he talks about building an active list. Okay. So one thing about creating a list is basically write down people that you know. All right. Everybody you know. Okay. And I do want you guys to write it down. Okay. I mean, it's not about what I want. A lot of people tell me, right, when I first get them started in the business, they say, oh yeah, I could just look at my contact, right? My contact list on my phone. I could look at my Facebook contact list, right? But guess what? Like, because it's accessible, right? You never look at it. You never look at it. You probably have like 200 to 300 people inside your contact list, but you have not contacted maybe even 1/3 of those lists. Okay. So I think it's better to basically create a separate list, but this list has got to be accessible. Like you got to be able to get it, reach it, like be able to like maybe go into your pocket and pull it out. All right. So write down the list. Okay. You could type it, you could write it. I don't really care. Okay. I wrote do not pre-qualify. Right. So do not pre-qualify. A lot of you guys probably know what it means, but I'm going to explain it. You don't want to go and start saying, hey, this person might not be good, right? This person might not want to, join the business. This person might not need the product. You never know. You never know. And guess what? I heard a lot of training from very experienced network marketers before. And actually, a lot of times we're afraid to approach people who are super successful, right? They're doing really, really well financially, and we don't want to approach them, right? But guess what? Jeunesse and network marketing is not just about financial freedom. It's about time freedom, right? And the more successful you are in a corporate world generally means less time that you have, okay? So I live in Silicon Valley in California, and that's where, a lot of the big companies like Google and Apple and, a lot of big tech startup, that's where they're at. And guess what? A lot of engineers, they joke amongst each other and they say, hey, the only way I can recognize my kid is when they're lying down, okay? And then it was like, what do they mean by that? Well, when they get home, most of the time their children are asleep. Okay. So they miss out on a lot of their children's, growing up. Right. And it's something that they really, they're really concerned with. So, so sometimes don't pre-qualify. Don't go out there and say, hey, this person might not be interested in the business because he doesn't need it, because she doesn't need it. Okay. Never pre-qualify. All right. And sometimes you might think, oh, this person doesn't like to talk to people, right? This person, might not, be able to do a good job in network marketing. Well, you never know, because it's not about who you know, it's about who your network know, right? So how do you know that this person doesn't know someone with extreme ability, right? Who knows a lot of people, who's extremely caring and authentic and is able to, build a big business, right? So if you pre-qualify, that's limiting your own opportunity. So never pre-qualify. All right. So our main job is to search and sort, okay? Our main job is not to judge people and convince people, all right? That's very, very important. We're searching and sorting. We're looking for people with a need who wants change in their lives, okay? We're looking for people who want a healthier lifestyle, which our products provide, who wants a better lifestyle, which our business opportunity provide, and who would like to network with people from all over the world, successful, driven people from all over the world, okay? So prospecting is a whole skill on its own. So, I would like people to, consult. I won't be able to go into detail because I have other stuff to cover, but consult with your sponsor and team leader on how to create your list, okay? After you create your list, you want to contact and invite, all right? This is one of the most important things, okay? So invite is one of the most important skills there is in network marketing. You basically want to have an authentic conversation, okay? You want to keep it casual also, if you can, all right? But remember this, whatever is authentic to you, right? If you're passionate about the business, show them the passion, right? If you're having fun in the business, show them that you're having fun. Have fun with them, right? But, have authentic conversation. You don't have to be someone else to do this business. That's the beauty of this business, right? You are the business. All right. People are not joining Jeunesse or joining, because of Reserve itself, because of the business opportunity itself, because there are thousands of network marketing companies out there, right? And besides, there are a lot of distributors in Jeunesse. Why are they joining the business? They're joining because of you. All right. So what do you need to do? First thing that you want to do is find out the prospect needs and wants. All right. Because of the business, if you don't see how the business can help them, how can you convince them to join the opportunity, right? It no longer becomes an opportunity, it becomes a favor, right? So first figure out their needs and wants, all right? So here I have a little acronym, all right, which forms the word form. So this is actually from Dale Carnegie, his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I kind of force all my team to buy it, but I mean, you don't have to. But it's a great book. You could get it from library or whatever. But one thing he talks about is how to have a conversation, how to ask people questions, right? What are some good questions to start good conversation? So FORM stands for different topics. So F stands for family, okay? O stands for occupation, R stands for recreation, and M stands for money, okay? And guess what? Money is a big one. A lot of people don't like to talk about money, but hey, like talk about rent, let's talk about money. Talking about bills, let's talk about money, right? So, and be real, right? If you're talking to your good friend and you're kind of like reserved, you're like, I don't want to peek, I don't want to poke into people's business. Well, if you don't care, then it's fine. But I care about my friends, so I ask them anything. I basically say, "How are you doing?" And they say, "Fine," And I say, "How are you really doing?" And they start. A lot of times, that's what it takes. Maybe like my own rule is, you got to ask someone 3 times, "How are you doing?" before they tell you how they're really doing. Okay, so really, really genuinely care for other people. All right, because when you do that, you can have a lot of success in this business. All right. And you want to add value. You want to add value to people's lives. So invite, continue. A lot of times once you find out the needs and want of your prospect, right? And you, in your mind, how Jeunesse business or the product, right, can help your prospect, then, when the conversation gets to the point where you want to invite, you want to do the action of invite, all right, this is a good way to start that off. I want to share this opportunity with you because, okay, I want to share this opportunity with you because. Repeat their wants and need, right? So, I say, hey, John, I want to share this opportunity with you because you told me about, the crazy schedule you have at your work and how by the end of the month, you're basically living paycheck to paycheck, right? How serious are you about changing that situation? Because I might have something for you, right? And if you're open, right, and you really want some change, check it out, right? That's an invite, right? That's an invite. Repeat their wants and need. Repeat it. Sincerely compliment them, right? And I not only chose you because you have this situation, but I also know that you're also a super helpful, caring person, right? A lot of times you could look at an opportunity, you have all these great ideas over the years, right? I learned a lot from you from over the years, but right now I think this opportunity is something where you could utilize all that knowledge you have, right? So sincerely compliment them. This is very important. Don't create some bogus, inauthentic way to compliment people, right? Really find good quality in people. And that's one of the skills that you could acquire along the way in this business, because that's when you sincerely compliment someone, that increase your chances of, getting them to check out the opportunity. So you're gonna get really good at learning to find the good points in people. All right. Tell your story. Keep it concise. Right. Tell your story. Right. I've been in this business for 3 months, and even though right now I'm still learning, but I met a lot of amazing people. And even if I can't personally help you, right, I know there are people who can, right? And guess what? We have friends in Brazil. I've never been to Brazil, but we got friends in Brazil today, right? So this is really awesome. And you'll never be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to do this, right? I met people from Canada. We met people from Brazil. We met people from China, right? Japan, Australia. Like, when you go to the events, like how many people are out there? Like just the flag, like people carrying the flags, you probably see like 30 different flags at the events. Okay. So these are all things that you could talk about. And that leads into that last point, right? Edify. Edify just means like show the value of the things that you want to show them, right? Talk about the business. I mean, look, Jeunesse, right? I did a lot of research. Okay. I'm like one of those guys that basically I'll look up every single company, all their comp plan, all their history. And guess what? I haven't found one that, you know, that really convinced me that they're better or even as good as, Jeunesse, because in terms of opportunity, I mean, really briefly, Jeunesse hit $1 billion in global sales in 6 years. 6 years. I mean, think about it. Like the other companies that accomplished that are Facebook, Google, and Amazon. That kind of company. And it's actually the only company of that category with physical products. Okay. So, there's a lot that, you should be proud of to be in this company and edify it, right? Edify, the opportunity, edify the people you meet, right? And edify your own experience, right? Going back to your story. After you do the invite, you invite them to basically the opportunity. How do you present the opportunity? Okay. Utilize tools. All right. When you present, don't do it yourself. All right. Because everyone knows, right? How many growth factors inside Luminesce serum? It's like 200 plus. Is it? Right? Okay. There we go, Zian. There we go. Good job. All right. But a lot of times, like, rather than you being the scientist, right? Or you being the health expert, all right? Rather than doing that, utilize tools. Okay, utilize tools. And I'll explain to you guys why that's important, okay? But the tools that we have are videos, right? Company videos. You could go on YouTube. You could go to your own back office and download, those videos, right? You could use Mobile, right? All those are like basically links that you can use, right? Pictures, before and after photos. And I hope all of you guys taken before photos, right? Because you're gonna look younger and younger in this, in this photo, and people are gonna be like, oh, you probably just Photoshop, whatever. But take before and after photos, okay? Other third-party info. So what I mean by that, really quickly, like I go to this thing called DSA, okay, and then I search like top 100 company. I search top earners in the in the industry. I search the fastest growing company. By the way, fastest growing company, Jeunesse, is on that #1 spot for the last 5 years. Okay, hasn't, like, no other company has gone even close to that. Last 5 years, Jeunesse been on the #1 fastest growing company on that list, and Jeunesse is the only company on the Inc. 500 list. Okay, the Inc. 500 list is the 500 fastest growing private company. Okay, so you can go to Inc. Okay, type in Google Inc. 500 and type in Jeunesse, and you'll find the article on Inc.com. Okay, so utilize tools, leverage your team. Okay, leverage your team. So what do I mean by leverage your team? Invite the prospect to events. Okay, 3-way call with expert. Okay, who are the experts? Anybody but you. Anybody but you. Right? So I don't know if you guys have the same experience, but every time my mom tried to tell me something, I'm like, she's my mom. She doesn't know what she's talking about, right? And then, but someone else tells me the same message, right? Someone else tells me the same message. I go like, oh, that's so smart, right? That's so smart. Well, the people that you're closest to generally don't see you as a respectable business person, doesn't see you as a health expert, doesn't just, in general, that's the case. That's human psychology. Okay, so 3-way call with the expert. Just find someone on your team. If your prospects wants and need has more to do with health, right? Find someone on your team that has a lot of experience with, just the products and how to help them, and people who know a lot about the product, right? Connect them with those people. People who are really, eager to build business, right? Go and find someone in your team that's having a lot of, success or taking a lot of action and building the business, right? And those are the people that you want to connect them with, all right? The webinar, like today's Zoom meeting, by the way, next week's Zoom meeting is open to everybody, okay? So it's a great opportunity for you guys to bring people on. And then since you guys already heard the stuff before, you guys' focus will be to learn how to do a business opportunity presentation. And the people that come in, those are the people that are going to listen to the opportunity for the first time. okay? And then we get to duplicate. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, okay? You know, edify and invite people to major company events. We have Lead 2018 in LA, right? Which most of my teams are going. All right, we're gonna bring a big crowd there because you know, I felt really lonely the first time I went to Lead. It was just myself and Josephine, right? And this time we're gonna bring a party bus down to LA from Northern California. All right. But you know, local events, like if you have small events where you're meeting at coffee shops, sharing about your own stories with the products, you know, sharing the people, you know, people you meet and you know what you learn in this business. Edify the events, invite people to the event, leverage your team. Now, why is it important for you to utilize tool and leverage team? Okay, the key is because the moment you start engaging with your prospect, the training started. Okay, if they eventually come into the business, they need to know that they could do that, right? And if you explain away with all the knowledge you have, they might think to themselves, they say, you make a good, you know, network marketer, you make a great Jeunesse business builder because you have a great memory, you talk really well, right? But I can't do that, right? But use the tools, right? Can you share links with people? Yes, right? Everybody knows how to use a smartphone. I mean, if they don't know how to use a smartphone, that might be a problem. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to be an issue today. All right? Can they say, hey, can you come on this webinar on Sunday? Right? They could do that. They can do that. Right? So duplication. All right? We're going to get there. Follow up and follow through. Okay? Follow up and follow through. Now, this is actually not a step in its own. This is actually throughout the entire process, okay? And there's a saying, the money's in the follow-up. And it's true. The money is in the follow-up, okay? A lot people are used to saying no now. You guys know that? You guys notice that? Like, you know, there's so many ads. There's so many, like, billboards, like, you know, Facebook ads, like Google ads. I mean, ads come into your email, even if you don't want them. I mean, they're there. And people are used to saying no. All right. So you're like, hey, do you want some ice cream? No. What flavor do you have? Right. But I mean, but the money's in the follow up. Like, don't stop there. I mean, when you hear no, you're just like, oh my God, like I don't think I could do this anymore. No. Like, ask them, right? Continue, right? Hey, why not? Why not? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Right. And you're like, hey, check this out. Like this will be great. Continue that conversation and follow up. Okay. Right? Sometimes you have those meetings where you don't really get to the part that you want to talk about, right? Make sure you follow up. Okay? Make sure you follow up. So you talk to someone, they say, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely check it out." Right? So rather than let them go, get a time commitment. When would you check it out? When will you check it out? Would you have check it out by tonight? Tomorrow night? Okay? Say tomorrow night? Great. So 2 days later, if I call you, you would have watched the videos already, right? If they say, oh yeah, I'll have time on the weekend. Oh, Saturday or Sunday? Saturday? Okay. Saturday. So when I call you Saturday night, you will have checked out everything already, right? Cool. Awesome. Right? Get a time commitment. That's super important. A lot of people don't do that. They're like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. You're like, cool. Awesome. Let me know. And then like you never hear back from them and you're wondering what's going on, right? Be a professional. This is a business, guys. This is a business. All right. And then no matter what, go and get an answer, right? It's better to get closure than to kind of leave everything hanging, right? So if they're going to tell you no, go get it from them. Okay. Answer objections when you follow up. What you often need to do is answer objections. Like, you know, you talk to someone, they're excited about the business, they're excited about learning more about the opportunity, then they could Google something up. And, you know, when you talk to them, they say, you know, I read this, I'm not sure if this is an opportunity for me. Learn to answer objections, right? And here's a little, you know, special tip for people who are here on this meeting. One thing I learned over the last year, you know, actively building the business, there's a difference between complaint and objection. Okay. And what I mean by that, like sometimes people say like, oh, you know, the reserve is really expensive, right? The reserve is really expensive. You're like, yeah, I kind of agree, but it really, really works though. And they're like, yeah, you know, like that happens to me all the time. It's crazy, right? But a lot of times they're like, oh, reserve is expensive. And you start explaining, you're like, oh, it's got, you know, all these stuff inside. They did so much research. You know what? First agree with them, right? First agree with them, but then talk about the value, right? Whatever your point is, agree with them and then add on, all right? But then when there's really objections, like, hey, I really want to do this, but I need to pay the rent next week, and I really, really need to wait until, you know, after that, right? After I get my paycheck. I mean, that happens, right? That happens. So when the real objection comes, and then you answer the objections, okay? So this is something you could talk to your sponsor to learn how to do, okay? And lastly, close, okay? Make sure you guys ask. Make sure you ask them, what do you think? Would you like to get started now? Okay, or what would it take for you to get started? A lot of time we just say, it's pretty cool, right? This is awesome, right? And they're like, yeah. You're like, cool. So let me know. Let me know. Don't do that. Close. All right. Ask them. Right. I really like you to join my team. I really like to build this business together with you. Right. Would you be open to, you know, giving it a try? Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Right. Let them know. Let them know what you want. All right. Don't just leave it hanging. Okay. So a lot of stuff that I show here is just about you making a decision, okay? And you being really, how do you say, you want to have that confidence about the business, and you want to basically just tell them that you want them in the business. That's what you want, right? So tell them what you want. Be open about it, because if you're open, they're going to be open to you, all right? Enroll others, okay? So enrolling, getting through the sign up process, I really, really encourage all of you guys to walk through the sign up with them, okay? And then, you know, answer the objections. You might have to do that before the sign up. I've seen that a lot, okay? Because a lot of people have, you know, just anxiousness, right? They have some fear before jumping in. They're like, oh man, I'm not ready to start business, because this is a business. A lot of people will feel, you know, resistance upon the sign up process. So walk it through with them, right? Get a time commitment with the follow up, right? And say, hey, let's get this started, right? Let's get this started this afternoon. Okay, walk them through the enrolling process. And then here's the thing that I learned that's really helped me with my business: launch after you enroll. So a lot of times we get someone to sign up, we're like, cool, all right, call me when you get the product. Okay, but you know what? When they click complete sign up, all right, there's a lot of emotion that's going through their head. All right, so during that time, we have two kinds of emotion. All right, and a lot of times we can't tell the difference between the two, and that's fear and excitement. All right, so once you click the complete sign up, right, and you see the order confirmation, right, you see the dollar signs, and then you're like thinking like, what have I done, right? But at the same time, you're like, oh man, you know, I'm gonna do this, right? This sounds really awesome. But then if you're walking through your prospect through the enrollment and they finish, and you just say, hey, I'll see you later, like, where's that emotion gonna lean towards, right? We have excitement and fear that's kind of in the balance, right? So during that time, it's the perfect time where you gotta sit down and use that excitement to start their business plan, okay? Launch them right away, okay? Launch them right away. Sit down. So who do you know that might be open to this business opportunity, or might be open to trying out the product, right? Make that list right now. Write down the list, okay? This is where writing down the list is super important, okay? And you just say, I'm gonna send you some videos, right? When would you be able to watch them, right? You get a time commitment for that too, right? So the video basically is gonna explain to you about the compensation plan, about the product overview, right? When would you have time to watch them, right? And then when will be the next time we meet up together to you know, talk about any issues that you encounter during the business when you're running it, or you know, or I could be there to walk you through the invite, right? I could sit next to you while you're calling your contact, your list, right? I could be there for you, right? Because essentially, if you want to be successful in this business, you need to work as a team, right? So show them on day one, all right, on hour one, that you could really run this business like a team. Okay? Duplicate. Duplicate. Keep on talking about duplication. So duplication is basically all the steps that we mentioned earlier, and then you find a way to keep it super simple. Big businesses are built on systems. Okay? Who said that? I think Robert Kiyosaki said that, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Another great book for you guys to check out. Simple duplicates, okay? Keep it simple, right? People say, I don't know if I could do that. You're like, hey, do you know how to send link through Facebook? Do you know how to send link on on Messenger? Do you know how to do it through text message, right? Do you know how to use WeChat? Do you know how to chat with people, on the internet, right? Because like, we try to keep everything simple, right? And here are a few things you say, like, do you know how to ask these questions, right? You don't need to talk a lot. You just need to ask the right question, right? And then you show them all the steps that I shown earlier, or, other versions of it that you learn from your sponsor, right? You keep it simple, okay? And if you're new to the business, the real action that you need to take is edify and invite. Edify and invite. Okay, you don't need a product. You don't need to be a product expert. You don't need to know the compensation plan to the T. And by the way, I've talked to a lot of diamonds like over the last few events that I attended. A lot of them still don't know the compensation plan. They don't. You don't need to be an expert on the material of Jeunesse business to build a big Jeunesse business. Okay, so as a leader, right, which I hope you guys all strive to be leaders in this industry, okay, in Jeunesse, you got to lead with action, right? Rather than telling them saying, hey, do this, do that. They're going to copy what you do. They're not going to copy what you say, okay? So, well, they're going to copy what you say. They're going to say it. They're not going to do it if you don't do it, right? So lead with action, take massive action, okay? Because all these learning, all right, they're really done when you're taking action, okay? Like you really got to go out and talk to people to find out all the objections that are out there, right? So I don't know if you guys know Oscar, but he's a Ruby as a 23-year-old out in Canada. And I asked him, like, how do you know how to answer all this? He's like, you have no idea, man. I heard it all. I heard it all. You have no idea how many times I heard that one, right? To me it's like brand new, but he's like, man, I heard that like 80 times, right? Now it's automatic. So take massive action, because like the real learning comes in taking action. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys some of my own just thoughts about this business. All right, so my own keys to success. They're not like really the keys to success, but I felt good about myself when I typed this slide. I might change it later, but this business is about you. People really join this business because of you. They're not joining because of the product. They're not joining because of the opportunity. I mean, they like it, right? They have to kind of love it to join this business. But ultimately, they could join this business, right, with other people. They could join this business with other network marketing company that also provides time freedom and financial freedom, right? But then why should they join you? All right? So this business is all about you. You got to be confident. Okay? You got to have confidence. You want to be confident, and how do you be confident? You got to really, really experience the product. Okay? I have a lot of personal experience with the product, and because of that, right now I don't like there's just there's no doubt that the products are great. I met the doctors, right? I went to Orlando, Florida. I went to the event. I got to take pictures with the doctors, but I also got chances to talk to them, and I asked them about the products and the science. I still don't really understand all the science. That's just not me. But then I know it works, right? I've seen it on my mom. I've seen it on myself. I've seen it on my teammates. So I'm really confident about the product. This business has made me grow tremendously, like in the last year or so. Okay. I used to be a teacher, right? A lot of students complain they don't understand what I'm saying. But right now, right, my friends are like, hey, I understand exactly what you're saying, right? And I got that from the business, okay? But I'm confident, about the people that I meet too, because they're all authentic, really, really kind people that care about other people, like, Josephine and Oscar. Like, a lot of times they go out of their way to help us. And it just makes me want to duplicate that and, extend my arm to other people. Be authentic, right? Once again, be authentic. Like, network marketing actually got a lot of bad rep, over the years. And one of the things that they preach earlier is fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it, right? But nowadays, with social media, with the internet, it's hard to fake anything, okay? Because like whatever you do, right? Someone's gonna be able to find it on social media, and they're gonna prove that, oh, like this person said that, they went through a lot of hardship when they're young, but they grow up in a pretty nice family, something like that. I mean, that's really extreme, but I'm just saying, like, be authentic. You don't have to be anyone else. You are perfectly okay. You are perfectly capable to be a leader in this industry. All right. Work on personal development. Okay. Work on personal development, because the truth is, everyone thinks Jeunesse is an anti-aging company, right? But it's actually a personal development company that happens to sell anti-aging products. All right. And I look at, one of the things that made me decide to really go all in with this business is the people I meet. Right. And I go to the event. The first event I went to was in Las Vegas, lead event that's coming up in January. They do that every year. I got to meet the top leader in this industry, and I found out that they're some of the most kind and caring people, right? They are, they play their role, like whatever role that they have, they basically max it out. They're like the best father, the best parents, right? They're the best coworker, best friend, best brother, best sister, right? Best teacher, but the best student also, right? All of them, constantly are hungry to learn more, all right? And I see myself in that state, okay? And I couldn't get it from whatever job I had before, right? So I was in sales, I was in marketing, I was in corporate, and my growth is often limited to the job description, right? So I think personal development, commit to that, all right? And no one else could really force you to do personal development. Only you can, okay? And we only I think we achieve big, like, tremendous happiness when we grow as people, right? When we grow, when we learn a new skill, whatever it is that we learn, we generally attain a lot of happiness from it. So, personal development is big. Dream big, okay? I found on some Hershey chocolate wrappers, it says, the worst thing that can happen to you is a small dream coming true. Okay, I love that quote. I have it on my wall, at my home in the Bay Area, right? Okay, and then lastly, I think one of the key things is learn while you earn. Okay, learn while you earn to do it, and also, teach other people, right? Because a lot of people say, you know what, I'm going to spend some time and learn everything, right? Then I'll start talking to people. But guess what? Earlier I said, most of the learning that I've got, right, was through taking action. I read most of this. I read all, I watched a lot of Jeunesse videos, you know, before, right? Like, right from the start, I'm the guy that would read everything. I'll watch everything, right? And then, I just like kind of put up taking action for a really, really long time. I said, oh, now I learn everything. And guess what? I got a lot of no's in the beginning, right? And right now, I haven't learned that much new things about the Jeunesse business itself, right? But the results are better than before. So the true learnings from action. So learn while you earn, okay? Learn while you earn. And here's some to-dos, okay? So if you haven't done so already, create your business plan, okay? Your game plan for the week, okay? So create your business plan. That's kind of like your 6-month plan, right? We do that a lot in corporate, 3-month plan, 6-month plan, right? And create your plan for the week, right? Create your plan for the week. So we have a business opportunity presentation, right? Next week, same time. So use some of the stuff you learned today, some of the stuff I shared with you guys today, the invite, the edify, right? So do that, and then see if you could set a goal for yourself. See if you get 1 to 2 people to the business opportunity presentation next week. Okay. Another way to set goals, which is what I do with my team, is I borrow from this book called Go for No. Okay, is try to get 10 no's next week. for the business opportunity presentation. What do I mean by that? So just go out and say, hey, would you like to check out this seminar, right? This webinar on Sunday, right? At 2 p.m., right? And then some people are going to say no. Some people are going to say yes, but go for 10 no's. Go for 10 no's, right? Because guess what? If you stop at one, if you talk to 2 people tomorrow and they both say yes to you, you might not work for the rest of the week, right? And that's not good for your business, right? So go for 10 no's, all right? Go for 10 no's. And you know, I think another thing that's super important is this is about Jeunesse is truly a business like you could build part-time. So commit 1 hour a day. Commit 1 hour a day to building your business, right? Hey, you know, like text and say, I do this all the time. Like if I'm waiting like in line in the grocery store, I'll look through my prospect list and I'll text someone and say, coffee tomorrow? And then, you know, like I like build your business anywhere, right? I heard stories of people that like they're at work and then during lunch break, right? And they hide in these closet in their office, like basically, and just like, you know, they start to invite people, right? Or they do the presentation inside the closet or something like that. But I mean, and a lot of these people are diamonds, right? These are diamonds telling the story of what they did from before. So the amount of action you take determines your success. And I think that's true in any kind of industry, but very, very especially so in, you know, in your Jeunesse business. Plan for major event. Do some, you know, I'm gonna go and show you guys. Oh, hold up. So, go to your Jeunesse website, right? Go to the calendar, right? If you don't know how to do that, talk to your sponsor, right? And then Jeunesse Lead 2018. The last time I checked the price is for $99, right? So some of my team got it right away, right? So they got a big discount on that, right? But right now, the price is still going up. I think there was an announcement made. The price is going to go up. So you know, right, $99 for these kind of event is not bad because during Lead is all about leadership development. And when you go to any of these talks individually, just one talk, oftentimes it costs $1,000 to go into one of these events. Now you get to pay $100 to hear 2 days worth of leadership development training. Okay. And I'm seriously, like, we don't get any commission as uplines to, you know, for you guys to you know, join, right, the events, but I truly believe that it's something that's worth going, okay, and worth taking a chance for, okay. And the people that you meet there, there's a lot of stuff that I say today that would be repeated, but you won't feel the impact until you get there, okay. And I mean, of course, there's way more. These are diamonds. These are people who are super successful. All right. And lastly, before Q&A, I want to leave you guys with a quote. Okay. So this is one of my favorite quote. One of my favorite speakers, Les Brown. He says, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." Okay. All right. Cool. Let me check on.